Thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight: the government has completed a review into the future of the region's crumbling concrete hospitals, which are in danger of collapse. You'll remember our reports on how the worst affected is the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Kings Lynn, which now needs 1,500 props to keep the roof up. Others, including the West Suffolk Hospital and the James Paget in Galston, are also deteriorating. Well, the government has asked a construction company to urgently assess the buildings most at risk. Our health correspondent Nikki Fox is here with the details. So what has this review been doing?
Well, it's significant because it shows that the government is looking at the state of these buildings and how big the rebuilds would be. Now, that's necessary because, as we revealed last year, each one is made up of a different proportion of this low-grade concrete that's at risk of cracking. In fact, almost 80% of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital is built with it, the whole of the first floor. In total, there are 7 hospitals across the country affected, and so far only 2, West Suffolk and the James Paget in Galston, are guaranteed a rebuild. The other 5 are competing with 95 hospitals that need work done for other reasons for just 8 confirmed contracts. Now, the review will decide whether these hospitals with the concrete problems will get priority, but it's being kept confidential.
So is this likely to kind of speed the decision up or slow it down?
Well, I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people today who say that there doesn't need to be another review, there just needs to be a decision on this. But the MP for West Norfolk, James Wild, is quite confident there will be movement on this in the next 2.5 weeks.
Ministers have said they want to make a decision by the summer recess. That's the date that I'll be trying to hold them to. I'm incredibly frustrated that we haven't already had a decision. You'd have to ask the Department of Health why that delay has been there, but I'm very clear we need to get a decision as soon as possible, and I want that to be by the time of the summer recess. Obviously, that's in the hands of the government.
Nikki, we've reported many times on the situation at the Queen Elizabeth. I mean, how desperate would you say the situation is now?
That's right. I mean, we've been reporting on this since last year when we were contacted by a whistleblower. Now, they told us an emergency exercise had taken place to simulate a hospital roof collapse. And in very simple terms, the concrete is basically full of air bubbles, which means that water can get inside and crack it. And the hospital's chief executive at the Queen Elizabeth explained how urgent things were.
We do know we need to start the work in 2025, so it is a challenging programme. So we absolutely need to know in the next few months if we're on plan to get that new hospital that we deserve.
Well, NHS Providers, which represents hospital bosses, has sent us a statement, and they told us that it's vital trusts get access to the capital they need to replace rack planks and address other critical infrastructure risks to ensure patient and staff safety is not compromised. All this could be good news for the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. However, there's only so much money, and the government already has to find £9 billion to maintain existing buildings. That's without building any of these new hospitals.
Nikki, thank you very much.